Hello superstars on the planet Earth, welcome on board. This is the Galactic Federation Druid ship Earth 1. It is Earth date 31/31 March 31st 2008, and this is Project Bluestar 2000 to 2012. What a campaign! One world, one people, all the way. We hope you're having fun. Don't forget to take your clothes off once in a while, put some bananas down your pants and run down your local mall. It'll put a smile on your face, I guarantee. On this transmission, we're obviously looking at PGS, Millicom and Renewable Energy, and Tommy is going to have a bit of a crack at that. But before we do that, we're going to cross down to Millicom development site out there in Central Australia, where both myself and Tommy had a quick discussion on renewable energy, and then we'll cross over to Tommy 2,000 kilometres away on the Mornington Peninsula, and that'd be absolutely fantastic. We hope this transmission finds you well, and I hope you're laughing. You little beauty. Go for it, boys. Rock and roll. Okay, renewable energy. So why is renewable energy so important, Tommy?
Well, Danny, right now 70 million tonnes of carbon dioxide is pumped out into the atmosphere every single day, and even in that knowledge, only 10 or 15% of the planet is running on renewable energies. The fact of the matter is, if we don't only stop pumping CO2 into our atmosphere, we need to reverse what CO2 is actually sitting in our atmosphere, and until we actually take serious measures to revert that fact, we're in serious trouble. So renewable energies is the solution. We all know it. People have gone down the track of nuclear and whatnot. There is a potential for that, but in the long run, solar, wind, geothermal, there's new solutions that we're going in about extraterrestrial disclosure and coming to new energies of that, but we've got to get going on it.
Well, that's right. Well, in renewable energy, probably the first step with renewable energy is also a spiritual revolution. To become renewable, obviously, and to start looking at renewable energies, you have to understand yourself and look at that great connection between you and the earth, and then understand the connection, to understand that you want to care about the planet and care about the energy that you take from the planet and obviously put back, yeah?
That's right, Danny. As you said before, it's a no-brainer. We already know that 70 square kilometres of solar power in Australia would literally run Australia's industries and our domestic power needs. We know that only 10% of our southern coastline using wind power would also power Australia. It's not a complicated one to work out. It's a moral decision to get on with it and to once again to look towards survival.
Absolutely. Well, again, it's another fantastic area for Millicom, Millennium Communications to get stuck into and doggedly go after whatever products or solutions that are out there to help the people on the planet find solutions in the renewable industry areas.
That's right, Danny. Renewable energy, that's the solution.
No worries.
Okay, team, it's time to explore renewable energy on the planet Earth and see how far the human race can go in order to attain true balance on this wonderful blue star. The world population in the year 2100 will be in excess of 12 billion people. If the current trends in technological progress and innovation continue, the demand for energy then will be 5 times greater than what it is now. And no one needs reminding of the adverse effects of using non-renewable energy, such as the increased risk of flooding in lowland areas, the processes of desertification, and the changing climate all over the world. It is a known fact that at the present moment, renewable energy contributes only 11% to our primary energy. If we intend to do something about our planet, to safeguard our future, and to create a healthy environment for all generations to come, then we must all actively utilise renewable energy in our daily life. Renewable energy comes from sources like the sun, wind and waves. Fossil fuels, gas, coal and oil are responsible for 60% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions and are the main reason the climate is changing. If we're to reduce emissions enough to stop climate change, we need to replace fossil fuels with renewable energy. This is by all means a challenge, but it also brings great opportunities. Renewable energy is a booming industry worldwide, employing more than 1.6 million people. The power of the wind is used to generate electricity by turning the blades on a wind turbine. Wind energy is growing rapidly and could supply as much as 29% of the world's electricity by the year 2030. Solar photovoltaic panels convert sunlight directly into electricity. Solar panels can be installed on rooftops or any part of a building exposed to the sun. Bioenergy comes from organic materials derived from plants and animals. For example, methane is produced as organic waste breaks down in landfill and can be used to make electricity. Bioenergy supplies about 11% of the energy needs worldwide, including traditional heating and cooking and electricity generation. Hydropower uses the force of water running downhill to generate electricity. Large hydro schemes usually use dams, while small hydro schemes temporarily divert water from rivers to drive a turbine. So what's the reality of energy consumption around the world? Though accounting for only 5% of the world's population, Americans consume 26% of the world's energy. Worldwide, some 2 billion people are without electricity. And for all those 2 billion people without access to electricity, it would be cheaper to install solar panels than to extend the electrical grid. World energy consumption is expected to increase by 40 to 50% by the year 2010. That's just 2 years away. And the global carbon dioxide emissions would also increase 50 to 60%. So what's the solution? Well, if we are to survive, we'll need to drastically alter our consumption of non-renewable resources. The greatest part of this change is that our lifestyle and our health will improve with it. The challenge is, human beings are creatures of habit, and if we don't break the negative cycle of non-renewable energy consumption, the human race will simply not have a future to participate in. Maybe the Earth itself alone will survive to tell the story, but that's simply not an outcome that myself or any of our team are interested in seeing unfold. So let's lift our game and invent a future that includes the human family. We hope this investigation into renewable energies and to positive global solutions on the planet Earth has in some way prompted you to take further action in your own life to make positive changes that can reduce your impact on the planet Earth. As one human family, we carry the capacity to change and to invent our future together. So let's work together and step by step work towards a common future. See you on the next transmission.
You little beauty. Okay folks, I hope you enjoyed our segment, our investigation on renewable energy for this day, representing Millicom Positive Global Solutions. Let's look at some news from around the world to give you an update of what's happening on the climate change front. First of which, we look at the sunspots which have been revolving around the western limb of the sun over the last few days, posing some M-class flare risks. These sunspots are now dissipating, which is wonderful news, and hopefully a reduction in the intensity of weather over the coming days. Further news looks at 946 potential Earth-hitting asteroids which are within a close vicinity of the planet Earth. More news looks at one fatality due to extreme rain in eastern Texas, copping a bit of a belting over there. Further news looks at the US west, the western side of the US, which is now concerned that its temperatures are twice as high as temperatures which are increasing around the world, which puts them at great risk to increased drought and flood, which has made farmers pretty much put a few brown stains in the pants there, and for the future of the supply of farming goods for the United States and wherever else they export to. Climate change brings the rain. Further news looks at Thailand, where today, the 31st of March, 190 delegates from around the world get together for one of the first meetings for the United Nations to put forward a pact as to what can seriously be done under the United Nations front to get some serious measures put forward and to actually start making some legitimate policy changes to get our human race into gear on the climate change front, so that we might simply survive. And really, despite what everyone thinks, make it moral, make it ethical, it really comes down to a question of survival. If we don't make positive changes in our lives to live more sustainably, the human race is in great trouble. So on that note, guys, I hope you enjoyed our investigation on renewable energy. We all know this is about change, and it's about taking personal initiative, and we have every bit of faith in the human race that when the going gets tough, we can all get going. So thanks for joining us on this transmission. We'll see you on the next one. Take good care. See you guys.